With kids being homeschooled and many people working from home, I needed something that was portable, reliable, and best of all, cheap. Check this out. Hey, what's going on YouTube? Danny here with Danny's Tech Channel, bringing you yet another hardware review. If you're new to the channel, we frequently talk about new hardware, do some PC builds, and I perform some how-to videos every once in a while. So today I have here the Motile 14-inch performance laptop from Walmart. Hey everyone, I just wanted to stop real quick and thank you so much for subscribing. Last week we passed 100 subscribers on the channel. It really means a lot to me and it gives me all the motivation to keep going on this. So just thank you once again. Enjoy the video. I picked this up recently because, like I said, the situation in the world right now is causing a lot of people to have to work from home and kids to be home from school. School's starting back up in the fall here, but so far in my area here, it's going to be all digital learning. So I needed something. This is actually my daughter's laptop, hence the rose gold aesthetic that I've got going on here. So I wanted something that performed well, that was best of all cheap, like I said, and wouldn't age quickly. I see a lot of the really budget laptops that are sub $500 get outdated very fast. First thing I want to get into about the laptop is there's two different models. Like I said, this is the Motile performance laptop. That's what they call it on Walmart's website. If you just go to Google and type in Motile laptop, the first two choices are the two models I'm going to talk about here. The one I have here is based on a Ryzen 5 3500U. The lower end model is a Ryzen 3 3200U. Both laptops are below $500. The higher end model that I have here comes in at a price of $449 USD. The lower end model comes in at $329 USD. Now let me talk to you about the couple differences that they have. Most of the things are the same. The build quality is the same. The look, the colors, you can get that in both models. The only differences between this model and the lower end model, the processor, which like I said is a Ryzen 3 in the lower end one, that's a 2-core 4-thread processor, and the higher end one has a 4-core 8-thread processor. The processor is soldered to the motherboard inside, which I'll show you some cutaways later. But I chose the higher end one because if you can't swap the processor at all, it was only, $120 more. It offered the better processor. Your RAM is doubled out of the box. You get 4 gigs of RAM in the lower end model and 8 gigs of RAM in the higher end one. And then your storage is doubled. You get 128 gig SATA M.2 SSD in the lower model, and the Ryzen 5 version, you get 256 gigabytes of storage. Now, like I said, things can be expanded. You can actually expand the RAM and the storage on this, which I'll show you in a minute. Your graphics that are built into this, because this is an APU instead of just a CPU. So you have graphics built into the CPU on this. This runs on a Vega 8 GPU die, and then your lower end one runs on a Vega 3 GPU. So that's another thing that was increased with the difference in price. This comes in 3 color options, black, silver, and then a 2-tone rose gold, as you can see here. The 2-tone is kind of growing on me, but it is not available right now. I just checked their website. You can get the black or the silver in the Ryzen 3 model. The Ryzen 5 model is not available right now, but it's just kind of a hit or miss. I checked it yesterday and the Ryzen 5 was available in silver. So just since yesterday, the silver ones, the shipment that they had gotten in, I guess, had sold out. So obviously everyone's still looking for a budget-friendly laptop that isn't garbage. Things that the computers do share, they all share the same size battery. It's a 46.7 watt hour battery. So far, I know it's not an amazing battery, but it has done what she's needed to do. I mean, she sits on it in the mornings, does her schoolwork or anything. We started using this in the spring before school had let out. And she was getting done exactly all the schoolwork and everything, and then she'd jump over and watch some YouTube videos or play a game or something, and it would last her through the whole day. The biggest selling point for this, not only on the price, was the fact that this is a 1080p display, 60 hertz IPS. That's really impressive for this size of a laptop as well as this price point. Most of the other brands that I've found, Dell and HP and stuff like that, they may be able to match this price point, but you're getting a 720p display. The difference between 1080p and 720p, I think it's huge, especially on a 60 hertz display. Like, if you wanted to use this for some kind of gaming on the go, you can play simple games like CSGO, Overwatch, League of Legends. It also comes with a backlit keyboard. A lot of the other computers I found in this price point did not have a backlit keyboard. It also comes with a 720p webcam built in. It's not the greatest quality. I'm not even going to demonstrate it because it's really basic for like Zoom meetings or like I said, the kids do sometimes video conferences with their teachers and stuff now, so they can do that as well. It's all encompassing. I mean, for $330, you've got a laptop that has a 1080p display, a webcam built in, a Ryzen processor that has an APU in it. Like, there's so many benefits to this, and that's why I wanted to show it off to you. And then the build quality. A lot of them at this price point are plastic and feel very flimsy and stuff. This is still lightweight. It's made out of aluminum on the chassis, but the whole thing's metal. Like, there's no plastic. So this is the first time I've gotten a laptop in years. I switched to desktop and I never looked back. But honestly, there's a couple little things that have changed over the years that I was really impressed about. Now that they use SSDs, there's no spinning hard drive inside of this. So it doesn't make any kind of noises or anything like that, like as far as having to spin up the drive. That's really neat. And then there's no moving parts. So like when you're moving it around or carrying it, you don't have to worry about shaking the drive and like causing the platters to mess up or anything. There's only one fan inside to cool it, and it actually has active cooling inside the rear here. So there's a vent that goes all the way along the bottom of this, which I think is really neat because if you sit it on your lap or anything, yeah, there's no ventilation through the bottom then, but you still have the vent out the back that can exhaust your heat, which is really neat. Got that? Let's talk about the connections on it. On your right side, you have your charging plug, your HDMI output, in case you want to hook up another monitor. You have a USB 3.0 and a USB-C. On the left side, you have a Kensington lock, your gigabit Ethernet plug, which is like a hinged plug, very sturdy though. And then you have a USB 2.0, a USB 3.0, and your headphone or mic input. Okay, so I want to talk about the weaker points of the laptop and kind of give you that ahead of time. But I'm going to give a little disclaimer. I think the benefits of everything that it offers outweighs these couple little things that I noticed. First thing is the speakers are not very good quality. They're pointed downward. Underneath, you can see you have a speaker on the outside here and then one on the other side here. I don't know if they were expecting you to have this on like a hard surface and the echo come up. I really don't know, but it's not a good design. The speakers are very muffled. The second thing is the direct lighting on the screen. Because it's an IPS panel, it causes a lot of reflection, and the screen does not get extremely bright. Like, I have it at the full brightness right now. When you're in good lighting in a little bit dimmer room, the picture quality is really nice. Like the 1080p IPS display, it looks great. It is really smooth and everything. And then the last thing that was an issue, or that's a small issue, is the backlighting on the keyboard. It's a weird angle of the light. So I find myself frequently turning the backlighting off because unless you're in darkness, you can't tell what the keys are. So the only time the backlight is beneficial is when it's dark in your room. So the last thing I'm gonna come to that's pretty important about the laptop is the upgradeability. like I said, the only ones that are available right now are the Ryzen 3 model, the lower end one. But if you spend that kind of money on it, it actually saves some money because you're not paying $450, you're paying $330, and you can upgrade parts. So if you have a little bit of computer knowledge, it's really simple. All you have to make sure your laptop's off, and then all you have to do is flip it over, and there is 6 screws on it, 3 on each side, and you loosen these 3 screws, and then you're gonna lift this aluminum plate off that has your ventilation and everything. It comes straight up. It also helps if you have some kind of prying tool for the bottom section of it here. I have my iFixit kit, and it comes with a little pry tool that's made for electronics. So you slide it in and pop up that bottom, and then the whole thing will lift off from there. Underneath, you can see all your components are exposed. If you flip this little flap down, it shows your RAM off. This is just 1 stick of RAM in the computer. You can't do dual channel. That's another downside, I guess, technically, is Ryzen likes dual channel RAM, and this is only single channel. The RAM that comes with it is 2400 megahertz. So if I was gonna recommend anything to upgrade, like I said, for the low end one, you can upgrade to 8 gigs, or you can even upgrade to 16 if you wanted to. But you can always find a faster stick of RAM, like a 3000 megahertz or 3200 megahertz. They're actually not too bad of price. And this is SO-DIMM RAM. This is laptop RAM, so don't buy desktop RAM if you're gonna look for it. I'll leave a link down in the description of some that I found that matches really well, like if you wanna jump up to an 8 gig stick. Your storage is right here. This is where your operating system is installed. This is your 256 gig SSD or your 128 gig on your Ryzen 3 model. Right next to it here, you can upgrade to the 256 gig from the 128, or you can throw in a 500 gigabyte hard drive if you wanted to. You can always add an extra storage drive and keep the operating system on the one, and it literally will just expand your storage. I found a 256 gig for 35 bucks on Newegg. So if you wanted to add the RAM to the Ryzen 3 model and the storage, you could spend, for the price of the laptop, upgrading the RAM and upgrading the storage, you're only looking at $400. So you've got almost the same specs minus the Ryzen 5 versus Ryzen 3 for $400, and you're saving 50 bucks. Because like I said, the Ryzen 5s aren't really available much. And if you're looking for something super budget, the $300 one is gonna be the better choice anyways. And then another part you can swap out inside is the battery. It just takes 4 screws to remove that. Down the road, if the battery starts to not hold a charge as much, you can always order them online on eBay and drop it in. So it's pretty nice that you can upgrade that. A lot of the computers in this price point have everything soldered in, the RAM soldered in, your hard drive is soldered in. Like there's no changing anything. 2 more cool features that I found that I totally forgot to mention. The first one being the SD card reader in the front of this computer. It's a small micro SD card reader. So if you have an Android phone or you have a camera and it has an SD card in it, a smaller SD card, it's gotta be micro, you can slide that right in the front of this and transfer all your pictures to the laptop and everything. And then finally, when you open it up, a lot of pre-built desktops or laptops that you get from manufacturers come with a lot of bloatware installed. They'll come with all of their software, plus all of these third-party softwares that they want you to use, antivirus and all kinds of stuff. It really starts to slow laptops down after a while. Walmart did an awesome idea. The only extra software that was installed on Windows 10 when I got this was the THX software that Motile provided. And the laptop is snappy. It's able to do everything that she needs to do with school, and then it still has a little bit of extra on the side to do some light gaming and some surfing and stuff like that she wants to be able to do. If you can find them in stock, I'd say this is a great laptop to have just because of the price point and what it's offering on the table there. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe down below because I've got a lot of new videos that are going to be coming out with Ryzen 4000 coming out, NVIDIA's graphics cards come out this year. There is so many new products as far as PC components and the desktop market. I really don't even have enough time to get everything out there, but stay tuned because I'm going to be doing my best to get all the information to you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.